Clock has started. Roger.
Welcome to the Good Stuff Morning Show. Here are your hosts, Kyle and Kenny.
Good morning, Kenny.
Oh, hello there, Kyle.
Coming to you live from WWDC in Washington, D.C. It's WWDC 2021.
Pausing.
Let's get ready to develop, I guess.
You know what's funny? Actually, the first year that we were doing this show, I visited you in San Francisco when you came over to actually attend WWDC. And
I did not live in the San Francisco Bay Area at the time, and had in fact traveled up with my entire kit, my entire gear.
Right.
Two microphones. Did we have two at that point?
No, I brought mine.
Okay, so all right. You brought yours.
Right.
I had mine, and we were on day one while the keynote was happening in a hotel room, live-ish sort of recording. What was going on?
Yeah.
What year was that?
2014.
What?
Yeah, 2014. The reason I remember that is because
No.
I had to drive down. Actually, I was in the North Bay at a theater internship, and I drove down the night before, and then I went to your hotel room, and then I think I slept on the floor.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. No, there were two beds. There were definitely two beds. There's got to be a photograph of something.
I hope so.
Where,
because I hate sleeping on the floor.
Well, do you? You haven't. It's not like you had a sleeping bag with you. So if anything, it was just a bunch of leftover. Like, you can ask if you slept on the floor. You can always ask the front desk for like a cot for the floor. They always have that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
No way. I'm gonna pour through photos of that time, but I think it was 2014, which is wild.
The other thing that the only other memorable thing besides it being WWDC in San Francisco was that we went to a place called Sushi Rito, and we bowe got a sushi Rito, and then we ate the sushi Rito back at the hotel room, and then we carpet bombed it we fart bombed it. And I think we left, actually. I think we set off we had a warhead leave. And we had to leave. There was something in that sushi burrito.
2014.
Oh, you're doing like a live search. You're trying to find evidence immediately.
So here's a really weird thing that's happened to my camera roll while I'm trying to look through this stuff. I'm gonna connect to this live onto this Zoom so you can see what's happening here.
I can hardly see anything because I think your upload is about 0.02.
So here's something that happened to my Google Photos.
I don't like any of this that I'm seeing. I don't like. Okay, listener, what I mean is that Kyle's camera roll has apparently been hijacked by stock photos of people's faces. Who are these people?
Many people have been added to. So here's a fun thing that Google Photos decided to do in the midst of.
That's a lion.
That's correct. In the midst of going through the Google Drive of all the photos that I have a collection of people's avatars that are free to use in design mockups. So in 2014, of course, designing very heavily, designing UI, wanting to use a bunch of people's avatars for purposes. They all signed off on it. I downloaded this collection of many, many avatars, and now they're stuck in my Google Photos camera roll in 2014, the day I added them. And you imagine how much this sends Google's facial recognition into a loop, trying to like figure out who these people are in my life. It's hard. I have a lot. I'm just scrolling for the listener. This is not fun at all. Maybe in the background, you could just put in a scrolling noise.
Batman.
Yeah, I have Batman. He said it was okay to use his photograph in the mock-ups.
None of these photos are the ones we want, though, is what you're saying.
No. So what I'm saying is, in 2014, it's very difficult to find anything. I've scrolled multiple pages at this point. Anyway, point being, I'm going to put it away because it's very difficult to find things anymore on my phone. Maybe Apple can improve that here at WWDC. Let's go to the floor and find out. Excuse me, sir. It looks like you just came out of the keynote presentation. What did you think of Timothy Cook's presentation of the latest Apple happenings here at the Apple Tree?
What's funny is that it was a digital keynote, so I'm not here. You're not here. None of this is real. We're all digital.
We're on site today here at the Apple Tree next to Tim. Tim, great to see you. Thanks again for referencing me directly in that keynote. I wasn't quite sure you were going to do it, but I'm hugely appreciative. What was your, honestly, like, you probably have a favorite thing that you talked about today, right? Like everyone does. Just be honest. What was your favorite thing? Was it the logo? Was it the one you took from us?
Sounds like
and
you're
put on
bitter.
your multi-billion-dollar company's TV show
Trillion.
that you made?
No. $1 trillion.
Billion-dollar
Get
show.
it right,
trillion-dollar
little guy.
company. Yeah. Okay.
You don't matter.
Well, you're oh, Tim. Now you're just hurting me.
These are today's headlines.
Oh, it's me.
I'm just sitting here waiting, just like the rest of the listeners. All 37 of them are just sitting in their podcast players, waiting for you to say something, anything at this point.
Okay. All right. So, like we covered at the top of the show, it's WWDC. Day one, the keynote arrived, and we learned a lot about what we're going to have for the next year plus in iOS, macOS, and some other little things that they've added here and there. So let's cover them, Kyle. Let's talk about what they started off with, which was iOS 15, right? And FaceTime. Are you a FaceTime user?
FaceTime is only ever used for major family announcements between siblings or parents.
That's
or
me.
other
That's
family
you and
members.
me, you idiot.
Or I guess I FaceTime with my wife all the time. We did today.
Okay.
It's mostly because there are cats involved, and so for the most part, cats are the active participants in these FaceTime calls. Some of my frustrations, which Tim, if you're listening, this is what I need you to fix in this next version, and you can tell me if they included it or not. Let me zoom with the camera when I'm pointed at something else. Don't make me walk over to it. I just want to zoom on the kitty cat.
That's called Zoom.
It doesn't let me zoom when I'm... Okay, I get it now.
Anyway, so you only do like person to person, right?
Never group FaceTime.
Group calls.
Never.
I think with the onset of lockdown last year, I think FaceTime was one of the go-tos, especially for group like hangouts or let's get together or family time if we all have iPhones. But then it really quickly dropped off for me, at least, because the service was just not great. People bouncing around and moving rectangles and squares on my phone. Like, just stop. Just let me put everybody in a grid and then we can all talk. And that's what they did. So there's a grid in group calls, which is great. They are bringing they're bringing spatial audio to FaceTime calls, which is kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. If I have my AirPods in and I start hearing people talk like around me, but everyone's just on my little phone screen, I don't get it.
It would be a nightmare. It would be an absolute nightmare to try to record for a podcast like this. Like, I would have to mix everyone down to mono, or Apple like export everyone in each channel of a 7.1 export. I don't care what you have to do.
The other thing is that if I'm looking at a screen and I'm hearing spatial audio of the person who is on the right side of the screen, that makes me want to look at them, right? So I take my eyes off the camera to look at them, but I should be looking at the camera, which is where the sound always comes from, right? So if I feel like the sound is always coming from the center of the phone, then I'll look closer to the camera. But if all of a sudden I need to like look way over here to the right, I'm exaggerating, of course. I don't know. It just feels weird. Anyway, FaceTime is also trying to replicate Zoom and Teams by having in-browser links now. So you don't have to be an Apple fanboy or Apple user to even use FaceTime, which feels kind of like they've tried this before with other services, iCloud sharing. Just didn't. I don't know. I guess this would be another test for them of outside the ecosystem, and I'm skeptical.
Apple with web things, I very much am skeptical as well. I just don't trust that they're going to do it well. But what would be nice is if other applications could also leverage that link creation system through some sort of API. Would be nice to be able to do that kind of thing if I'm signed into my iCloud account on Fantastical or one of those other applications and use that instead. I hate having Google Meet basically added to every single meeting that I try and create on that.
There was something else that they showed. There was something else they showed called SharePlay, which is like screen sharing or like you both watch the same stream or listen to the same music.
Listen to the same music, which I would assume only for DRM reasons probably only works through Apple Music.
Right.
And then like watching the same thing has got to be only through
the
TV app. But to what extent? Like maybe both parties have to have access to like stars or whatever.
They showed examples. They're like, you could watch the same game on Twitch. You can do Disney Plus, all these other apps that apparently are supporting SharePlay. But again, skeptical. Like, how is that going to work? Someone's just going to create a link. Someone's going to create a public FaceTime link and start broadcasting something that they should not. Now, and then you just join it.
But here's the thing, and I think that you made the point earlier. The pandemic has, changed the way that people do things when it comes to video calls. If I'm going to quote unquote watch something else, with another person. I do not want to be on video. I do not want to hear them. Right. I do not want to interact with them audio wise or video wise.
Right.
I am watching the thing. I am watching the movie. My butt is probably in a sofa. Just I'm upside down. Who knows at that point? I'm eating Cheetos, mostly Cheetos, Cheez-Its, maybe too.
You kind of struggled through that. Which one you were going to choose?
I was trying to
Cheese
remember I'm eating my own toes. You don't need to see that on video. That's where I'm leaning.
That's
for
a
this.
hot dog.
It's my own toe. So I just don't know how it's going to work. Again, those features probably do not work in the browser, or maybe they do work in the browser.
Yeah, I don't know. This again, something we'll probably have to see in practice before we can poo-poo on it, I guess. I don't know. So some other stuff that they introduced.
Hold on. Before we move on, the thing that I always think through all of these announcements is like, is this the thing that's going to get me to install the beta before it's ready on one of my devices?
Right.
Is this the thing that's going to get me to abandon my multi-browser use or my using another notes application or whatever?
Right. What's the killer feature?
What have they now taken and added from a third-party application that is going to make me go back to the first-party app? That is what happens during WWDC for me every single time. It's not what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be for, hey, developers and folks who are making things, here's all the new features you can probably take advantage of. But the keynote is not that way. The keynote is supposed to get you excited about the stuff that they just made.
Well, made? You mean, hey, look at all the stuff we acquired last year that you forgot about. We put it in our own stuff. Like weather. They took Dark Sky, which they acquired late last year, and then shut down the Android app, right? Or did they? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But now they are essentially pushing out a new weather app that is a bunch of Dark Sky stuff. I mean, fine with me. I'm now getting Dark Sky for free, right? I'm getting the features of that app for free. Is it better than what I was getting with the third-party app? Not sure yet. Something else that they actually talked about for iOS 15 was the Focus app, or the multiple focuses you can have, which is essentially your home screen profiles. Which I think you actually talked about this a few weeks ago. Like, let me have my work home screen and then let me have my personal home screen. And separate them.
Yes, but to the extent that I want separate default, like iMessage accounts for each, separate phone numbers, separate SIM cards.
Okay, so you want two phones.
I want two phones.
I don't think that's a feature that they can have.
You know what? It's like they don't even listen.
I mean, they do have dual SIM, but I feel like you're asking for too much there. Anyway, the profiles thing, that actually got me a little bit excited. I think that might be a killer feature. If you have the workflow of, I need to keep my work life separate from my personal life, and I also need to shut down a lot of my notifications when I go into Do Not Disturb and want to wind down for a nap, I guess, or sleeping. So let's see what else we got here. Messages. We have a shared with you function that lets you see what your contacts have sent you in the apps, like photos, news, Apple Music. So when you open those apps, there's like a shared with you section that shows people's links that they've shared with you through the messages. This is another thing I was really skeptical on, because I'm thinking, why do I need to save this for later? I'm looking it up right now. Who's waiting to do this? They just sent it to me. I'm going to check it out.
Yes, typically. I don't usually go back to it. This is the same feature that they've actually had in Safari for a little while. So if you go and try and open a new tab in Safari, you'll see these Siri suggestions that line up on the bottom of Safari. And so like it has links that you and I just shared with each other, the Zoom link for this particular call. I'm calling you one right now. A link to the Mortal Kombat YouTube video.
Did you watch that?
Message. No.
Maybe this feature's for you then. You walked right into that one. Dun.
I've got a message from my wife. Rome gets its first pizza vending machine.
Okay, we gotta stop. We gotta stop going through your Safari. I don't want to get too far in.
But it stops at 5, so far as I can tell, and you can say whether or not you want, like, don't suggest this website, suggest less from calendar. Anyway, it gives you some options because I guess it's Siri powered.
Right. Now it's just messages powered.
Yes, this is not what they added. Like, I think there are definitely groups that I'm in on iMessage that, like, if it kept suggesting photos or links that got shared from that group, it would just be a cacophonous noise of like things that I probably shouldn't click on in the first place, or like memes that got sent over. They did say that they differentiate in the Photos app now between actual moments of places where you were. So maybe the solution for my photo woes of all these strange people I have in my camera roll would be solved with Apple's new, like, that's not you, or you didn't take that photograph, you weren't there when that happened feature.
Right.
And maybe they can help and get rid of those. But seems just like, who cares? Who cares about the sharing? I'll go into the Messages app.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care for it. The other killer feature that they announced was the upgraded wallet app, which they want to add digital car keys, which they announced last year, kind of, but it was like really limited usability. I think it was like one BMW model was able to do it. But this year they want to, like, they're going to support ultra wideband in addition to NFC for the digital card keys. And they also want to work with states to let you add your driver's license to your wallet app. The last card in my wallet, my physical wallet, that I have to carry around because I cannot add it to my phone. Once I can add my ID to my wallet app, that's it. I don't need to carry my wallet with me anymore. And my wife said, "Well, what if you lose your phone?" I said, "Then I didn't lose my wallet." And she goes, "Well, then people have access." I said, "No, they don't. It's locked. It's locked behind my biometric Face ID. If I lose my wallet, yeah, they can use that. It's not locked behind anything." So this is the killer feature for me, to be honest. Probably won't the ID and everything added to the wallet. That's going to probably be a feature that they'll roll out in the fall or in the winter, right? But that's probably not a beta feature that they'll be able to do right off the bat.
Well, yeah, they said that the TSA is working towards it, but you have to get these states on board with it. I guess the other thing with TSA though, and your driver's license is they are moving to Real ID, I think it's called, by the end of this year or October of this year or something like that. So in order to travel, you're going to need the Real ID. And the one thing I don't want to do is wait in the line at the DMV to get this thing.
Okay, so you want to bypass DMV through Apple.
Can they? I mean, why not?
Why have a Real ID at all if it's just on your phone?
I don't know what that means, but
I don't either.
It's their job to figure it out.
Right. Okay, let's move on, Kyle. iPad OS 15. I don't know. Why give iPad OS a number? It's just iPad OS. There haven't been 15 of them. Stop it. But it's basically they're adding multitasking to a new degree. So more gestures to get better multitasking, split screen and full screen stuff that you can kind of do between apps. It looked all right. I think if you were interested in multitasking on your iPad, you'd already probably have a workflow to utilize it, but now they're trying to make it easier for everybody.
The thing I don't understand about iPad OS is the fact that you have so much more screen real estate and they still insist on hiding all of these actions behind gestures. It's all swiping, it's all like pinching and moving, and I like the combining windows into one and being able to do that from the little launcher thing. Like that all makes sense, but
what do you want? What do you want instead? A button? It's a touch screen. You dummy. I couldn't think of a word. I could not think of a word. I was like, you
Garco?
I think that
I hit the wrong one.
Ha.
you did.
There it is.
Yeah, you're getting
Harp
the hang
is next
of
to
it.
ha.
It does say harp sound effect.mp3.
Right, but it's right next to
Ha.
and so that's what I want. That's what I wanted to hit. That's a little backyard baseball for everybody.
Still not from the backyard.
I know.
The other thing that really kind of bothers me about the fact that, yes, to your point, they're calling this iPad OS 15. It's not like iPad OS 14, the one before this, had the same features that
Right.
iOS 14 has.
In fact, iPad OS 15 is just getting everything that iOS 14
From
had.
14 back. What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
People-
App library's
Yeah.
coming. Let me remove the apps.
Yeah.
Let me remove them.
Yeah.
I don't need them.
I think this is good, right? This is all of the stuff that we had on iOS this year. We are now getting on the iPad. It's just a year too late. Also, people are. I saw a few criticisms of the new M1 iPad that says that the increased RAM in the unit, you can't even touch the increased RAM because iPad OS is holding it back, like holding back apps from using the full bevy of RAM available. So and then also iPad OS, you're not going to introduce Pro apps on the iPad Pro. Missed opportunity. I'm sure that they've tried to work through stuff, but they'd probably have to build from the ground up, and they don't want to do that.
I will say, though, the thing going all the way back to the 2014 WWDC keynote presentations.
Wow. Hey, hold on. Actually, that's the harp sound effect. There you go.
Remember when they used to do third party like demonstrations.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had the Bluetooth car on the little road on the stage. They had touching Bono's finger.
They do a bunch of like AR stuff
Yeah,
with different apps.
This was so much better. No demos.
No stupid devs.
No live demos. No one is with mostly pretty bad presentation skills getting up on stage and just whiffing and everyone tuning out. I don't know how they filled the time. They had so much stuff, 2 hours worth in this presentation.
Yeah.
How is it that previous years they had time for like 35 minutes of let's walk with this iPad around this table while these castles explode or whatever?
I don't know. It's crazy.
It's a lot. I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm impressed every time that they do one of these digital keynotes, because the production value is just so high. Like Apple's just in a completely different league from everybody else, especially after the Google showing a few weeks ago. Yikes.
Yeah.
I/O was terrible in comparison to what we saw today. Google, you know it too. I don't know, were you trying to do something different from Apple, but Apple is already thinking different, right? But I believe this is probably my own belief and mine alone. Apple will probably never do a live keynote again. Not like they used to, at least. If they do a live keynote or a live product reveal, it'll be much shorter than they've done before. It won't be an hour-long thing. It'll just be, hey, look at the new iPhone. All right, watch the video now. Bye. They built a Steve Jobs Theater at the new Apple Tree campus, and they haven't been able to use it for nearly 2 years. Other than shooting these videos, I suppose.
Yes.
But that's kind of the antithesis of a live theater.
I don't know what they're going to do when they have people like, no. Sorry, we got to close this corridor to shoot the next keynote. Like, what? No, I got to go to the next office thing over here.
Right.
There's a lot of people here. Yeah. I don't think I agree with you. I think they will do these in person again. I think, though, to your point, it's going to be like 50-50 on the pre-recorded versus presentation type stuff. Demos, not live.
Demos done. Live demos are done.
Yeah. 100%.
We have a 1,000-person production crew now that will take care of that that we developed over the last 2 years.
Finally.
Yeah. Wow. I was sick on that one.
You were very sick indeed. Yeah.
Not hotel room sick though.
No, just
regular sick.
Grubby chili fingers. Yeah.
Probably.
Sick.
Moving on. Watch OS 8. Can't believe it's been the 8th iteration already. More apps for the wrist. More iOS apps for the wrist. This says the Photos app will be completely redesigned, and you'll be able to have a portrait mode watch face. So I guess portrait mode photos that you've taken with your phone, you can now turn into a watch face, and the time can, I guess, kind of sit in the unfocused area of the photograph, right, in the background behind your focused part. I don't really understand how they were going to be able to do that on every photo.
They use the depth map, but saying that a feature where your head covers part of the time is a good thing seems ridiculous to me.
I agree. This is
looks if you think about it, it's kind of like one of those magazine covers where it's like Sunset Magazine, but you can't read. It just says like and that's all you see,
right? Or the cover of Time magazine where it just says
T. Yeah, that's I know. What? I get it. It's iconic, but the time is not iconic.
Right.
I need to know the literal numbers now, Tim.
Well, actually, that's what happened on another cover. It was just Tim, and the E was covered. Moving on. So watchOS 8 is going to add reaction GIFs. I say GIF. And you can also use a combination of voice diction, scribble, and emojis to send and edit texts, which that's got to be something I'm going to use in practice.
Wait. How a combination of those three to send and edit text.
Right.
Okay, but like separate, like.
So right now,
I'm talking to my telephone watch, and then the next message, scribble, and then emoji.
No. So what it is right now, which you just highlighted, is you select the mode that you're going to use, right? So if you use the scribble, you have to scribble the message and then send it. Otherwise, you're not going to use scribble, right? You're going to cancel, use a different version.
I just send you my heartbeat.
Right. But in the new version, you can do a combination of the modes of entry. That's what they're talking about. Whereas you couldn't do that before. It was kind of like you pick it and then you use it and then you're done. And I hate the voice to text on the watch because I mumble into my watch on purpose and then it doesn't get the right words. When I try to say the San Francisco Giants pitcher, it's like, you mean picture? No, pitcher. I just said the Giants pitcher. Siri, listen to me better. And it says, a giant picture? What? I want to punch my wrist in the face. In the watch face.
The watch face. The one with the time behind the face.
So they're going to add also...
I just can't imagine spending longer than like 15 seconds interacting with my watch. Like, I'm not gonna talk into it and then scribble a little thing and then put some emojis on it and then talk into it some more and then put an emoji and then talk again.
Unless the watch becomes as big as an iPhone, yeah, I agree.
That's ridiculous. Who's gonna do that?
Unless maybe the new watch this year, this fall, is going to be a bigger watch face that I don't have my grubby chili fingers mushing all over.
Yeah, maybe.
So this kind of brings us to the next big tenet of the keynote, which was the health app overhaul, essentially. So they're gonna have something called walking steadiness. So they're going to be using the iPhone's metrics and watch metrics and give you a reading on if you're at greater risk of falling. They can share your health and wellness data with friends and family. That's kind of a cool thing. They kind of gave an example of, well, you might have kids in your family that you want to keep track of, or you might have aging parents that you need to take care of. And I thought, what a really precarious generation you are selling to right now. You either have children who can't take care of themselves, or you have parents who can't take care of themselves, and you are 100% good, right? You don't have to take care of yourself?
Hi, Mom. Hope you're still listening.
Wow. I don't want to support the connotation that you just used that in.
I did actually. So live reporting on the street right now, I did tell them about this feature, this exact feature today.
And they're like, please watch out for me.
No, they said 100% the opposite. They said that's creepy and I do not want to be a part of it. And I said, that's too bad, because when I take your telephones and share the walking data, you'll learn that in fact you do need to go to the doctor.
Right.
And
I mean, this is essentially Apple kids being able to throw a what is it, LifeLock? Those necklaces that the seniors.
LifeLock is that's the one. The LifeLock Life
Alert.
Life Alert. That's right. LifeLock is the one for the identity and for your credit report.
I mean, that's next, right? I don't know. I can't trust my parents sometimes with that stuff either. But this is definitely throwing a Life Alert bracelet on your parents.
Yeah.
There's some other health stuff that they were touting, but
is this health stuff only for watchOS 8, or is it this going to work for others?
This, I believe, is also rolled into iOS 15.
So it's iOS 15. It doesn't matter which watch you have in order to measure.
I have no idea.
They'll okay.
The new watch will probably have more health tracking abilities.
Got it.
They've talked about blood oxygen stuff. Maybe the next watch will be able to do blood sugar somehow without like stabbing you in the wrist, I guess. I don't really know about that one.
Or it might.
A little pin shoots out and you just poke it, which is the current method. Yikes. But let's actually talk about iCloud really quick. And I want to ask you for an update. When you complained that your soundboard kept getting offloaded to the iCloud, right? Kept getting offloaded from your machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How much disk space did you have on your computer?
Upwards of 20 gigs.
And how much space do you have or how much are you using of iCloud? Is it more than 20 gigs?
Oh, now you're going to make me do math.
What I'm asking is, because I actually just saw this feature or saw this explanation today because I was doing a little bit of deep dive on why my machine can't find my location. iCloud will actually offload documents if it believes it needs to be space efficient. And it will probably offload documents in the equal amount that you are using, right? So it's going to try to probably create an equilibrium of how much you're using in the iCloud and how much you have on your disk. Does that make sense?
It does, and I don't like it.
You don't like that there might be a rational reason for you to not complain about iCloud stealing your soundboard.
If I use a file, you should know not to get rid of it or give me a setting to make it so you do not unload. You can play around with the rest of the files, but just let me control that singular file that I care, or a folder. How about a folder? I'll take a folder instead.
Okay.
The one thing I would like from if we're talking now about, I just found this one right now. If we're talking about simple things that, Apple needs to do, rename across Mac and iOS, rename your settings section to settings. I forget that it's called system preferences every single time on the Mac. You need to call it settings. It's the same exact icon. Call it settings so that I know how to type it.
But
please.
no. I spotlight SYS, and that is the first thing that I can click on. I don't want a SET. No. SYS. That's so much easier.
Well, how do you get to it on the phone then?
It's one of my home icons.
Oh my gosh! What? No!
Here, I'll show you.
What? Why? It's in the listener. It's in the tray. It's in the bottom tray.
The dock.
It's in the dock on his foot. What are you doing?
What's better is that I only have three icons.
There's no way that you use settings that much.
I'll tell you why it's there.
Why is it there?
Because when I was using an Android phone, that's where my settings were on my Android phone.
Which, hold on, for the listener, how long ago was that? That's got to be
2012.
That's 15 years ago. At least.
Oh, you gave me the hiccups. No, like 10 years ago. Anyway, when I got my first iPhone, oh, dang it, you gave me hiccups, man. I can't even breathe right. I ran out of water in here, too.
Here, I'll just pour this right into the camera.
Okay.
You put your mouth up to it.
Anyway, that's where it was on my Android phone. The first time I got an iPhone, that's where I put it. And that's where it stayed. Bottom right, boom, right there. It became muscle memory. So if I move it, I'm ruined. That's my workflow. Anyway, let's move on. You're probably have to talk about the next one because I need to get some water, like for real. These are like deep, like gut hiccups. Oh man,
this is horrendous. This is horrendous. I cannot stand.
Just really quickly talk about iCloud Plus.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm gonna get some water. Oh, I hit it.
iCloud Plus. It basically tacks on a VPN-like feature called Private Relay that masks your internet activity by sending it through two separate relays. Apple claims that means no one can see your browsing data, including Apple. It'll let you create burner emails via Hide My Email. It's interesting that they put it behind this Plus moniker for iCloud. They claim that these features are going to be available to anyone with an iCloud account, which implies, I guess, what an iCloud like storage account. If you pay for storage, you would then get access to these features. But with Plus, these are iCloud account features related to internet browsing and not to iCloud storage, which today iCloud Drive is what I associate with iCloud. I'm very confused overall.
They're going to need an entire
branding.
Yeah, they're going to need an entire different keynote to cover this stuff.
I guess we'll learn more in the next couple of days as these presentations kick off. But there is also, I guess, speculation or confirmation, I guess, that you can bring your own domain and still get these features with iCloud. So we could get a domain and then sign up your whole family on it and share these features across the family. So
I dig.
Seems kind of cool in that way, but I don't know. It's weird. They tacked on like HomeKit enabled security camera video storage to it, and then they added VPN, then they added, don't track through emails. It's just a mishmash of like,
don't call it iCloud Plus. That's essentially the overall statement that you're trying to make, right? Find a new brand. Roll this into Apple One, right?
Yes.
Roll this into your bundling service and just make it the new tier of bundling. Make it the premier Apple One.
Or I would argue things like VPN-like features, not seeing browsing data, maybe burner accounts through email would be paid, but like not loading up the location or tracking pixels inside of emails should just be baked in to mail. Don't make me pay for that. I guess what they're doing is they're doing it server side probably, which is why you have to use an iCloud account for it.
Mm-hmm. But
still, there are mail clients that have figured out how to do this for the most part.
Right.
So I just don't. Maybe I don't know enough. Maybe I don't know enough about how it would work, and I'm interested. I will. This would be of the things we've talked about. Again, this would be one of the things potentially that would get me. It would get me to use my iCloud account instead of my Gmail account for things.
Okay.
Just it's far more in line with what I would want out of an email client. So
let's really quickly cover the last things here. Things that they've announced and things that the features that they've talked about, but maybe not into the greatest detail. So here we go. Siri is now coming to third-party smart home devices. So they showcase this on a smart thermostat through the home section. So that's cool, I guess. But I guess Siri still lives in the cloud. So that's that. You'll be able to use your iPhone as a house key. Okay, using NFC probably.
Yeah,
with supported home locks, I guess.
I like that.
Find My will be able to track down AirPods Pro and AirPods Max. Left and right AirPods Pro, I saw them showcase. So
what?
It'll work it'll work like AirTags. That's a killer feature. You look skeptical.
How long would it hold a charge? Would one single AirPod hold a charge?
Well, you're not connected to it
in order
if
to
you
be
lost it.
Found. No. I get that. But the AirTag. The nice thing about the AirTags is that the battery lasts for a very long time. So if you lose the thing, indeed, you'll probably find the thing. Can these AirPods go into such a low power state, especially the AirPods Pro? If you lose one of the buds, like just one of the ear things, will it go into such a low power state that you'll be able to find it for the same amount of time that you would an AirTag? Well, otherwise, I'm just going to glue the AirTags onto the outside of the AirPods Pro, and it'll just be.
I think that's Google Buds, right?
More or less.
Yeah.
More or less. The
idea I think that they showed is that you can set it up so that your Find My app will actually notify you if you've walked or you've moved outside of a safe distance of your product, right? It lost connection and you've now moved, 100 yards away from it. That should notify you that you've lost it. And then it'll run you through, I guess, the ultra wideband stuff to locate it like an AirTag. I don't know. Another thing we'll have to see in practice. AirPods Pro can now help you hear conversations better by boosting other voices and lowering ambient noise. Lowering ambient noise. I don't know about this one. I feel like this is like one of those promised features that worked one time in the lab, and they're like, yeah, send it.
Maybe. Well, they can't call it like a hearing aid or a replacement for that. It doesn't work that way. It's
FDA would have a field day for that.
Probably, yeah. It's meant for hearing conversations better. But if they do start getting more, and these are just AirPods Pro, I would have liked this for AirPods Max simply because battery life on these devices if I'm wearing them casually and using them potentially as like to hear conversations with people as
You're not getting
kind
more
of
than 3
replacements,
hours.
you are not getting any time out of that. And now you've used it to hear conversations, and then there goes.
And now you've lost it, and it's out of battery.
I just can't imagine it working very well
Yeah.
for that long.
This one actually I'm excited for because my wife and I have used the Share Audio with the AirPods Pro on our TV or through the Apple TV. But they are bringing spatial audio support to M1 Max and tvOS. So that's kind of cool.
So you'll sit left on the couch and she'll sit right on the couch, and you both get one channel. Great.
Yeah, another thing, have to see it in practice. I would sign up for the TV beta though if I could use this before it launches, just to test it how cool it is. And if it's not cool, I gotta reset everything.
I need to hear. I have to hear.
But resetting my TV is a lot easier than resetting my phone or my computer. That's for sure.
True. Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to pair HomePod mini speakers and the new Apple TV 4K for a home theater setup. This is a feature they actually talked about when they launched the HomePod Mini. They're like, yeah, you guys can totally use these as your home theater in the future. Really far in the future.
3 years later, yeah.
So actually, one thing I noticed during this keynote is that they kept referring to your HomePod Mini, your HomePod Mini, your HomePod Mini, never your HomePod, and no, not a single mention of maybe something that is coming down the pipeline. Like, hey, we're coming out with another product to complement your HomePod Mini.
They're basically like, guys, we have so many of these. Please just buy one. I
sure,
don't care what they need to do. What Apple needs to do. I don't need another year of Apple TV Plus. Stop it. Just stop it. I don't need another year. What you could do to change my entire setup here would be bundle one of those HomePod minis into a product purchase and just be like, here, you know what? You bought this $1,400 laptop. We put in just a HomePod mini for free.
Yeah, because your new laptop doesn't have great speakers, but the HomePod Mini does.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll buy enough Apple products over the next couple of years that you'll just fill the rest of your house with HomePod minis.
Yeah, my wife she asked me earlier, hey, what features did they announce today? And I was kind of showing her all these things, and she kind of perked up.
Tell her to listen to the podcast, would you?
I did want to
come
tell her
on,
that, yeah.
Gosh.
But she when I got to the home stuff, she's like, oh, like the lock on the front door with your phone, that's kind of cool, and the Siri everywhere. And I said, yeah, but we're in the Google ecosystem. Like we're Nest only in this house. If we tried to move to Apple and the HomeKit and stuff, that is quite the investment we would have to make.
Potentially a like 6-figure investment.
No,
or not
not
6-figure.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to buy a new house.
I was adding a couple of maybe decimal points. It would probably be thousands of dollars in order for you to unleash yourself from the Google ecosystem. And
I'd actually say probably close to $1,200 with the cameras, the smart speakers, the control devices. Yeah, it would be an investment, and I can't do it. I'm too deep into the Google Home stuff.
Me too, for sure. And I don't know if I made the right choice is where I sit today, but it's been done. Again, these devices didn't pay for them though. For the most part, didn't pay for them.
Right.
Google just sends them to you.
Mm-hmm.
You buy the thing and you've been buying cloud storage from us for a while. Here's a thing.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just try it, Apple. I really do think like if you're trying to get a foothold in smart home stuff, you must do this.
Yeah. Find a new way to get your foot in the new home door. I don't know what I'm saying.
My toe is cheesy.
The last thing that they kind of showed off, or it wasn't the last thing, but the last big thing that we can say is that Maps is getting a redesign. And they're just turning Apple Maps into Google Earth, but it's a lot prettier.
Oh, see, there were people who were comparing it to Katamari, which I appreciated very much.
Yeah, it is Katamari.
It's just Katamari. So
it's very well designed. Like the streets of San Francisco are the street, like they just made a miniature version of the streets of San Francisco.
That's gonna bother me though. This is the uncanny valley of maps because
it's not a satellite overlay anymore. They just recreate it in a 3D world.
But probably not to the extent where it is representative of, like, they put a pine tree in the Katamari map, and then in real life it is a oak tree, let's say, right?
Oh my gosh.
And so now I'm gonna have a problem comparing the two of these things together. And
oh yeah, you saw my house on Apple Maps? Sure. Yeah, we're right next to the palm tree. Make sure that you don't park next to the palm tree on the map, because the palm tree on the map is a giant 400-foot hole.
Well,
they just
I wouldn't think it
mislabeled
would be
it.
that. Yeah. Okay. It's a giant ball of other trees that we've sort of wrapped up and left there. I don't know. It looks nice though. It looks like a nice map.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Give me that nice map.
Okay. That's WWDC keynote talk. Why don't we move on, Kyle?
Well, we didn't talk about Monterey.
Oh, we totally skipped over Mac OS. Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
Well, I had a good laugh at the fact that you keep the settings app in your little tray bar thing down there at the bottom. And we sort of got derailed on the whole Monterey thing. So Mac OS Monterey is, I think, the one thing
That's
to
the
talk
one name
about
that
here.
we totally guessed that like 3 years ago, though.
Was it 3 years ago?
I think instead of Mojave, we were like, it's got to be like Monterey or Carmel or something. Because
probably
we were totally
Carmel, yeah. So they're introducing, I think the one thing we need to talk about is universal control.
Yes. Killer feature.
You think so? So the premise is you use one keyboard and trackpad, and between your Macs, I would assume multiple Macs, right? Anything signed in with iCloud, multiple Macs as well as iPads, you can drag your cursor between spatially too. Apparently, the way that they were showing it, spatially from one monitor to another monitor or one iPad to the Mac, back and forth, and then use like drag things and move stuff over, or type on one and type on the other.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel.
This is one of those demos that you're like, this cannot be real, right? This is something that they probably would have tried to do live and would not have worked. This is something that Steve Jobs would have said, it needs to either work on stage immediately, like it needs to work by the time I step on stage, or we're cutting the entire feature, right? That's kind of like one of those things, which kind of lends to it probably works as they showed it, which is kind of like how you use Sidecar, where you have your iPad and you kind of dictate where it is in relation to your Mac through the displays or through the AirPlays display settings, and then you can then use it as a secondary screen. I think it's going to be something akin to that. I think it's going to be, there is some setup involved. You need to designate which screens you're going to be universally controlling. However, once you're in that universal control state, everything does just work like that. But I think it will be almost like an AirPlay setting that you will have to share between those devices. It won't just like, hey, oh, I brought your iPad over. Watch this. Right? It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like beaming stuff. I think you're going to have to enter like a universal control state. But they didn't mention that, so I don't know.
The one thing that I wish they would mention is do this between the iPad and the Apple TV. I don't really care about it with Mac. I care about it when I'm sitting on the sofa and I've got the iPad and I like want to put on a show or whatever. Just I'm watching this YouTube video like zoop, that's right up onto the TV.
That's literally every futuristic sci-fi like utopian control scheme, right? It's
smart house on Disney.
You have a tablet, and then you have a surface on a wall, or you have a screen, and you're like, hey, look at that, and you just flip it up there, and you have to make that noise though. It's Oh, it messed up.
It just goes, oh, right onto the wall. Oh, no.
I wasn't supposed to share that.
Totally possible.
Yeah. Anyway,
so that's pretty much it for Macross Monterey. Are you excited?
I am. Yeah. Probably not a beta sign up on every service, but like I said, maybe TV OS for the spatial audio stuff, maybe iPad OS just to finally get all those iOS features on there. I don't use my iPad enough to care that it gets locked up. Maybe not Mac and not my iPhone. I need those things. I need those things to be steady and working correctly.
Wait until the fall is probably smart at this point. I'm with you overall. Okay. I do like the sort of service level stuff, the iPad or the iCloud Plus type stuff. It'd be nice to be able to sign up for that stuff earlier than the other things, but I don't know if they're shipping at the same time or what. But we'll see. We will see.
Hey Kyle, let's close out the episode with a little fun game.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that's a better one. We're going to play a little game of zero ingredient, but this time, you're going to guess.
What?
I'm so excited.
Do I have one for that? Where's the what from me where I say it loud and it sounds... What? Oh, I don't have that one. I don't have the really high pitched what. I will have to find that one.
Okay. Well, are you ready to listen, Kyle? I don't remember.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up my note-taking application.
Oh, wow. You're really going to try to guess.
I want to get this right. This is the first time we're playing this, and I want to get this right. Are we listening to Gordon Ramsay?
Of course. Okay, there's no other zero ingredient author.
I was wondering if maybe he had sort of copyright claimed on us for the use of his name in this particular segment. But
it's Roden Gamsey.
Yep. Hit me with it.
Okay, this is kind of a long one, so strap in. Here we go.
Right, welcome to what an amazing place, and trust me, I've had an extraordinary week. I'm on this amazing, and they're producing and it is just one of the best anywhere in the world. That's it there. We're gonna use this incredible, that's the as well. But just a very simple, sort of almost like, but these look, so it's like black, blue, beautiful. Look at the marbling in that. And the last 3 months of their life, they get fed these incredible, they've got a spa here trust me, the best kept in the world, happy, delicious. But first, get into the hands, start off with the, beautiful.
Okay, onions.
And then from there, get these little... That's got a really nice bit of heat, and then it's some beautiful... The idea here, of course...
Chilies?
...is literally just frying all this up. And it's the sort of... For them, alongside that, okay, some beautiful... I'm slice them quite thick from there. A little touch of in, she goes. I'm going to fry it in butts. I'm going to cook slowly, okay? So I'm going to get them nice and warm. In. Get the bit in there. Now, so it starts to sort of froth, and I'll crack there. But first, start frying off the now. Lift up the... Beautiful. In she goes.
That's a lot of
now, this tree here is 500 years old, and it produces some of the best anywhere on the world. And around has got all these little trees, and that's what they come through and they feed, especially across their last months of their welfare. Fry off all the beautifully done. Once that starts to melt, okay, I'm going to get the in there and just get them on a nice flat surface so as not to break, nice and carefully. There you go, 1. Again, 2. And the secret here is cooking them really nice and slowly. Just nice and warm, okay? I've got enough in there to make them go nice and frothy and cook the as well. Keep that nice and stable. A little touch of, and then look, I'm just gonna put them back on the side of the nice and slowly. Just there. In, okay? Look at that, beautiful. Now, fry off, slowly cook, okay? The flavor of this will literally bring you to your knees. Look at now. That's why I put them in early. So that it goes over the, starts frothing up and it cooks slowly. But I'm gonna show you a nice little trick. Get a really nice color on those like that, okay? As that starts frothing up, okay? You take it off the heat again, okay? Literally off, touch more, nice. Now look, what you do now, you've got that nice and frothy. It's gonna help cook the top, take them off. And you let them sit here, literally. I don't want blistering and bursting everywhere, it's a beautiful flavor. But look, bring the temperature up, as that starts frothing, take it off, and you'll see them slowly cook there. Okay, the table's a little bit uneven, so just lift up with a little fork there and keep them nice and flat. Now, look at those. As they start to break down, get some colour on them. No colour, no flavour, and more importantly, I want all that on. Now, for the, here we go. So you take this, I'm gonna slice nice, beautiful, almost like sort of slithers of this incredible, amazing.
No!
Look at that. That is stunning. Don't worry about it, I'll show you why. Down, and look at that. So beautiful. Now, season that beautifully and get that on the, okay? Now, slide that over. Okay, and on the goes. There. Beautiful. Spread it off beautifully. As that, a nice little season. Beautiful. Turn that over. Beautiful. Now, I've got a little trick.
You gotta be repeating parts. No way.
From Jürgen. He's gonna let me brand my own. I'm gonna put that on there, and literally, fingers crossed, it's gonna be a job. And there we go. Beautiful. Extra flavour. And look at that, amazing. Put that in there. Now, that literally needs 90 seconds, okay? Turn it over. So we've got raw, and then look, get them out. Okay, beautiful. Now, when we come to serve this, look, that goes on there. 2 nice bits. These little bits here, what you do is just very, very quickly slice them up. So tender. Keep one nice piece for the hero, and then you get your all that in there, and you mix that up.
Why is he cooking
That's gonna
it
sit
again?
on top to serve. Beautifully seasoned.
Dude.
A nice, generous amount of the from the.
Oh, come on, Gordon.
I'm going to very carefully select. It's so nice when they cook slowly because they'll just literally slide onto the spoon. There's no runny anywhere. Lift that up. Set that on top. Beautiful. And then take your next to it. That has to be one of the poshest, happiest anywhere on the planet.
Oh.
Happy, delicious.
There you go.
Happy delicious indeed, Gordon. You absolute monster.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
He cooked something so many times. So
Okay, what you got?
many. Okay.
What do your notes say?
Here, do you want me to just read them verbatim?
No, I don't. Just give us
All right.
an amended version.
So he mentioned marbling. So I'm going meat. There's meat involved. Steak, some sort of red steak type meat involved. So I'm going with that.
Or
for
marbles.
Sure. Or he's cooking marbles. I'm gonna also say there are peppers and onions in it. He talked about heat. It sounded like cutting onions. He talked about blistering as well, which you typically do on onions, or not onions, to peppers. So we'll go with peppers and onions sort of thing. I think the other hint here is he definitely sounds like he's outside. So it is some kind of outdoor grilly situation where he is doing like a meat and fajita type grill. So we're going with that.
Okay.
Tons of butter, just the so much frothing, so much frothing. I'm going to guess it's just a lot of butter frothing, possibly.
Okay.
Over and over again.
Okay, so
what did Gordon
make?
Where the onions are coming. He did mention his own hot sauce, I think, of some kind, potentially. That's what it sounded like, or a salsa. I don't know. It sounded like it was served in a bowl, which is weird. That doesn't go with I'm going to set that aside because I don't think that makes sense for me.
I don't know how you hear a bowl, but okay.
He like went, he something with a bowl.
Ding.
He did say, now this is the thing that gets me that I can't figure out yet. A 500-year-old tree that has something growing on it that he used in the dish. Olives.
I don't know.
Olive oil.
That might be
the frothing is him roasting garlic in the olive oil.
Okay.
We'll go with that. That's why there was so much cooking going on.
Mm-hmm.
I said he cooked them like 4 times, whatever it was that he was doing.
Okay, so
and then he put an egg on top.
Okay.
So that's where my brain was the whole time.
So what do you think he made?
Steak and egg fajitas with roasted garlic.
Oh, okay. Let's find out. Gordon?
That has to be one of the poshest, happiest bacon and eggs anywhere on the planet. Happy pigs, delicious bacon.
What grew on the tree?
So he was in Portugal. He was outside.
What?
You were right. He was outside and he was grilling this on an open flame.
Okay. Bacon and eggs?
Bacon and eggs. So
Frothing.
he was talking about
frothing.
Those were the eggs, by the way. He cooked the eggs super fast in a lot of butter.
Okay.
And he was talking in the beginning. It was about pigs and how the area is known for like really good pigs. Happy pigs, delicious bacon. They eat the acorns that fall from the 500-year-old tree.
Oh my god! So he made like Iberico bacon.
I don't know. No, it's Portugal.
Yeah, right. But the equivalent of your acorn fed.
It was the thickest.
Pigs.
It was the thickest bacon.
So
that you could consider bacon, and then he used a GR brand to brand each piece of bacon.
What was all the cutting? What was he slicing?
He was cutting onions and peppers. You were right. But then when he's like, I need to slice this, he was cutting thick slabs of bacon. 90 seconds on the grill. Boom.
That's very fast.
No, it wasn't 90 seconds, but He flipped it for 90 seconds.
Eggs are slow. Bacon's fast.
Yeah. So the eggs were done pretty early on. He heard him say 1, 2, 3. And then he had those cooking. And then he took them off the heat. And then they just cooked in the frothing butter off heat while he did the bacon. And then he had veg, of course.
So
no garlic, no olive oil.
See that I didn't put garlic or olive oil in my notes, so I feel like I need to stick with the notes next time. I am
definitely doing this again.
It's gonna teach me. Oh, this is a challenge now. I need more of this.
When you play them for me, they weren't. I mean, I'm not gonna say that this one was simple, but this one was bacon and eggs. Very, very few ingredients. You've played some for me where he was making like a 3-course meal. and then he only explains like a quarter of it. This one whatever. Maybe I won't do it for you anymore.
All right. Well, you know what? I enjoyed it. Because I think that was like maybe the second time you've ever made a audio related game for this program. So thank you. I appreciate the time, effort, and commitment to program and everything you do.
I thank you none of the time.
I know. That's why I'm really laying it on thick right now.
All right.
I just need more praise, please.
It's not gonna happen.
No. You know what can happen is I can sign up for a TikTok if you pay us money. Patreon.com/goodstuff. I will not join TikTok until you pay us money.
That's a weird ultimatum.
I'd really like to not join TikTok.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that the incentive is make you suffer.
I will both have to watch content and make content for TikTok if we. I don't know. You have to make you have to make the dollar amount up so that we can make it feasible for folks to do.
$50.
All right.
Here we go.
Bye, everybody. Talk to you later.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
No.